Hey, how's it going? What an amazing
It,
opportunity we have to hear from some really just incredible speakers from around the world. I was just looking at the lineup again, and we have everyone from the UK to China um, to Hong Kong to Singapore to Indonesia to Portugal to India to Barbados to Canada. I think, and I'm missing across the US, South America. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. I am so excited for this opportunity. And firstly, I've got to thank the BIM coordinators team, the summit team. I think that I say this for many people. Everything that you guys do, everything you put on, everything that you share has so much value, so much real opportunity to learn. And it's just such gratitude that we have as a community. For me, being part of it, I really appreciate everything that you do. And it's just the start. I know that there's so much coming, and I know that we're going to have a great time today. So, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we'll dig straight into some of the content. But stick around because we have quite some number of amazing presenters that you can look forward to as well. So let me share a window and let me know when you can see that, and I'll kick us off.
all good.
Fantastic. So we're going to dive into some spicy stuff to start off with. And we're going to talk about sort of the illusion of trust and the beauty, or if you can call it beauty, of chaos that happens in our industry. And sometimes where we cling together of PDFs and duct tape things together on projects. And I'll also talk about how we spot when somebody's had a bit of a need for a digital intervention. And I'll also do my best to keep it fun and fast. So let's take a look at simplifying and scaling trustworthy information management to start with. First of all, well, we live in this complex world, and it's a multifaceted, really phase-based approach. Lots of changes, multi-party, multi everything. And the projects that we work on are not getting easier. So let's start with a reality check. And if we think about information management and what it looks like and how we manage it on projects today, well, if you've been in the industry for a while, then probably you can relate to this feeling. Certainly feels like we're on fire at some points, and things are very difficult to manage. And the big question is why? Why does this happen? Why, when we've been struggling for so long, and they're the same problems, the same challenges, the same complaints that we've been talking about for decades. I've lived through this, and my experience is the same as well. And yet the industry keeps on responding with the same questions and the same challenges. So I've built many of those fancy BIM execution plans myself, amazing 100-page bloated documents, right the way through to a one-pager. But unfortunately, nobody really cared about those documents, those BIM execution plans. I've built the most complete BIM requirements as well that I've thought, and I've created them, and they're overly detailed. They're completely unrealistic information requirements, and nobody understood them. And I've even built those and delivered those pristine 3D models, these beautiful 3D models, but nobody could really find the information. Everyone wanted something that wasn't part of that model. So I'm sure you felt like this. I'm sure you've been here, eventually burnt out, feeling frustrated, wondering if, at that point, I was wondering if I was the problem. And I'm sure you feel like that too sometimes. So these are some of the signs that I started realizing, I started seeing, and I was able to spot. It was the same things happening across many projects, and it wasn't just BIM projects. It was all projects, any type of project that we were working on. And I started seeing that these were needs for potentially digital interventions. And we'll talk more about that, what that actually is. But if any of these seem familiar to you, If you've ever been unsure about which BIM execution plan or which brief or contract is the right one, if you've opened there, it says spreadsheet at 7 a.m. If it's been before your first coffee and you've got a 15-tab spreadsheet open, or if you've got more than one file named with a final revision 12, and the list goes on, you might also need, or your project team might need, a digital intervention. And this is the current situation for many. It's really confusion as a standard, and there's no real clear one workflow that wins them all. And this lack of consistency, this lack of efficiency is frustrating for many. I'm sure it's frustrating for you. It also gives us so many opportunities that we miss. We miss because we're not talking the same language. So let's dig a little deeper and understand what's behind this chaos and what people think is the cause. Because it's not laziness, it's not people. People actually want to improve. But it turns out that from our perspective, it's the skills and the system that actually cause the issues. This is some data, some statistics here. Nearly half of our teams haven't been trained. Over half lack the in-house skills, the things that they really need in order to be able to do their jobs. And 2/3 are missing the digital skills. They're saying that that's a big blocking. And this isn't a people problem, it's a leadership problem. And it's not just the delivery teams, it's the owners that are being left behind as well. And we have the very people that are funding these digital deliverables, these things that we're trying to create, they can't even use them. We're creating these twins that aren't actually put to use, for example. And the elephant in the room, the big challenge, is that our digital processes still run on PDFs, still run on broken, buried documents, and also spreadsheets copied from, I mean, if it's from 2019, it's actually a bonus. I'm still seeing lots of copied spreadsheets and really broken processes because from a long time ago. And I suppose one of the things that we need to do as we go through this process as an industry is admit that it's broken, maybe. Can we admit that? Can we admit that there are challenges? And I think that this is something where we're all somewhere on this journey. Maybe you're in denial. I've been there as well. Maybe you're frustrated, but probably you guys on this call are not in that situation. Not maybe frustrated, but knowing that there's a challenge, knowing that there's a goal, something that you want to get clarity on and move forward with. And really, as you go through this process, the acceptance leading to action is the really difficult thing for all of us. I've been in that situation where you know that there's a better way of doing things, but you're not able to really reach it. And that's what I'm going to talk through in this session, and really understanding how we can aim to improve that and get everyone on board. But how do we do this? How do we actually achieve that? How do we make progress on that? Well, I believe that the fundamental building blocks start with simplifying education to standards, so everyone's following things like ISO 19650. I'm sure if you have heard anything that I have talked about in the past, it's always been focused on ISO 19650 and making it easier, making it clearer. So there's a big check in the box there. We've built a lot of content around that to help teams. But building capability early in universities and also with owners is really important, and also having a big push in education for understanding and upskilling everyone so that everyone can follow these same workflows. And we need to stop really relying on hope. We need to understand that trust isn't built on spreadsheets. It's built into processes. It's living documents that teams can plan and understand and follow right the way through, from collaboratively agreeing to what's going to happen before they go and do it. Clearer responsibilities that actually they're understood and they're in the contract so that everyone can really have buy-in and follow these workflows. And also built-in verification. So there's no longer just a hope that the end deliverable is going to be correct and maybe sometimes not checked. There is a workflow and a process that is tied in from setting clear requirements right the way through to validation, making sure that it is being delivered as required, as specified. So what's the actual change that we need in order to enact this? What do we need to do? What do we need to see? Well, we believe that boils down to three things there. Better training, so early education really solves those late headaches. Empowering those owners, it's really related to training and really our industry training owners, training the appointing parties, those teams that are the main, they're the pockets, they're the purse strings, they're the people that really should be taking best advantage of this digitalization, this workflow now that is standardizing processes and having a clearer way of adopting and getting value from it. And this digital transformation, as we talk about it, always starts with good intentions. And it's great if you talk a good game, but if you don't really have the catalyst, the action, then it's not worth the words. So it really needs alignment, it needs leadership, it needs funding sometimes, it needs accountability, and it needs this system to support all of these things to help us move forward. And one of the things that we've realized, and this is coming to the part that we've really put a lot of effort in, and I'm about to announce a big new free training that's now available, but it really was so apparent every time we started down this road with teams, we realized that just recognizing the problem isn't enough. And yeah, you need skills, but every good idea, even with the best energy, isn't enough. We saw that you actually also need serious executive leadership on board. And in order to do that, we needed a trigger. We needed some kind of catalyst. We needed something to change the status quo. And yes, there can be a lot of people that are trained, but if you don't have the groundswell from all of the people that are implementing and also the executive leadership, then you're not going to get anywhere. So we realized that this business case, this opportunity to unlock using a business case and having that real momentum to carry things forward was a big, big need for our industry. So whether you're a BIM beginner and you're starting on the first rung of the ladder as a newbie, or you're already ISO 19650 certified, we have a level of training that is for you, that is available to you, and that will make your life easier. If you're ready to ruffle feathers and drive serious change, then that is where we have brought to you now the bottom rung of the ladder there, or maybe the top rung of the ladder, the tallest, the most difficult to achieve, but now putting things in place so that we can salute these digital troublemakers, this new term that we are coining. It's allowing teams to build a business case, build a training plan, and make sure that everything not just gets put in place from a grassroots perspective, but also has executive leadership and a true buy-in so that it can be sponsored from the top, checked in and driven as a change. So this is what we really wanted to talk about was, yes, we've got lots of free training programs so that you can get certified and level up your BIM game, but it's not just about that, an understanding of what you might need to do, but it's your organization that needs to come along with it. So we're launching these training programs continuously, and we have everything now from the basics, the expert, and we've also got an ISO 19650 readiness program with a checklist. But the one we're launching today, it's just gone live, is the digital troublemaker course. So we've got basics, BIM management basics for sharing, and every single one of these programs is completely free. This one walks you through the basics so that everyone can understand exactly what BIM really means, how they can get benefit from it in their own workflows. The advanced course, look out for that. That is coming in 2 weeks' time, so look out for that. The expert course has now been, so the basics course has had over 1,000 5-star reviews. The expert course has now something like 500 5-star reviews. It's amazing the feedback we're getting. We're continually learning with every single one of those courses and putting that feedback into the next course. The latest course just before this free training number 4 was a certification course, a readiness course for your company. So if you're interested in implementing, this would be a a great checklist to go through. However, the one that we really want to talk about today is this digital troublemaker course. And in order to be able to get your team that buy-in, that true understanding of how change happens, it needs people like you guys that are on the call right now, people that really understand that there is a need for change. They've gone through that whole workflow of understanding the problem and seeing what the solution could be, etc. You know what you need to do, but sometimes it can be incredibly difficult without the buy-in from people that need to be inside of your company and also external parties as well. So the course that is this digital troublemaker course, affectionately named as a digital troublemaker, it includes everything from why does it matter, right the way through to building you a toolkit. There are templates and training plans and business case templates so that you can build up a complete business case, and you have an action plan in there. There's a certificate as well. But the principle is that from that, in 45 minutes, you can walk through a true understanding and build a business case that will be something that can really generate progress and advancement for your company and your change in this digital transformation. So lots of things that you can jump on and lots of certification courses, but it's really about making something happen. And that's what we would like to continue to ask for your feedback from everyone on the call, because this trust that we talk about, it's not a spreadsheet, it's a system. Trust is a system. It's the heart of the message that I'm sharing is, in order to scale something, in order to have something, it needs to be trustworthy. Trust isn't about documents, it's about people. It's about capability. It's about understanding, having a shared understanding, people that really understand and have a common workflow. And really, we need systems that reflect that. And that's the principle of what us at Plannerly we're trying to do. We're trying to simplify the training, simplify the abilities within your team and also with your executive leadership in order to enact something that is actually going to be more than just a spreadsheet. Have a trustworthy system, have roles and responsibilities defined, have a clear workflow, have it following standards that are internationally recognized like ISO 19650. So what I beckon you to do after this amazing lineup of speakers is to go out there and do these two or three things. Yes, there's a little advert for Plannerly as well there. We like to simplify the workflow, but really what we're all about is training and helping people to get to that place that it makes their lives easier. We don't want you to have to read and reread the ISO 19650 standards as many times as we had to. So we're providing a simplified 3-step solution that will help your company to get ISO 19650 certified in 60 days. And we're also providing all of the training that will go from that BIM manager to the expert level. And also, as we've just announced today, that you can also access the training for this digital troublemaker, the level that will allow you to build a business case and get your team into a place where you can implement all of those great things without all of the pain and heartache that a lot of teams have to face and build all of this training and build all of this material themselves. So really appreciate everything that you can provide as feedback to give us the opportunity to improve that system, improve that training for everyone else. And I thank you for your attention. And yeah, thanks so much. Let's make trustworthy information management the norm, not exception. Let's make sure that everyone is in the loop and everyone understands what their roles and responsibilities are. My details are on here. If you want to reach out either during this or after, there's my LinkedIn and my email. Feel free to reach out and to connect. And just to repeat that trust is not a spreadsheet. Trust is a system. And if you can have an integrated system with roles and responsibilities that follows an international standard that allows you to streamline workflows and to have training and support to be able to implement exactly that digital transformation that you really desire, then we're all for it and we're ready to be behind you. So let us know what we can do for you and have a great event. Really appreciate everybody's attendance today. So I'm going to introduce Hansi Ho about scaling BIM planning across projects and teams, and the coordination strategy that has been implemented, and it's also some case studies, which I am going to enjoy asking more detailed questions in the panel discussion. And if you have any questions that you would like to add, we will dig into those when we can, when we have the team for the panel. So thanks so much. We'll look forward to hearing more, and we'll jump into a panel discussion afterwards. You can share your screen and take it away.